Hi, my name is Morgan Garcia. I am a librarian at XYZ Library. Today I'm coming to you via video to show you how to print an Excel worksheet. I know that sounds really simple to some, but for a lot of our patrons, maybe even including you, we've had a little issue in that area, and something that seems so simple can sometimes end up so messy. I have a lot of people complaining to me and other staff that, oh no, I've printed all these sheets and all I needed were these 3 sections or these 3 rows of information. And I'm coming to you today in order to hopefully alleviate some of that pain and save you a couple of quarters. So what am I going to teach you today? I'm going to show you how to print a worksheet from Excel, how to print sections of information off an Excel worksheet, and also how to change the orientation and margins of a worksheet in order to print a little more clearly, or maybe expand or contract some of the information that you need. I'm hoping after the end of this video you'll be able to do that comfortably and successfully on your own. So the first step is you have to have, obviously, a completed Excel worksheet. Here I have a dummy worksheet that I created for this purpose. So what I'm going to do, as you will usually do in any type of Microsoft Office software, in order to print something, you go to File and you go to Print, which seems easy enough. In order to make sure you're printing the information that you want, it's very important that you go to this little area right up in here, because it will show you exactly what the printer should be printing when you hit print. Here it says I have one of 2, so I'll have 2 sheets, so I want to check the other sheet, and it's exactly the same information that I want from my worksheet. So what I would go ahead and do, I would make sure I have this correct amount of copies that I want, which is 1, make sure it was connected to a printer that's going to print it, and then I would hit print. Easy enough. Well, what if I just want information about the first 3 or 4 tickets that are on my worksheet, or the first 3 or 4 rows, or maybe just a simple column? Well, I would go back into my Excel worksheet. Say I just wanted a summary description of all the information, or just a certain row. What I would do is I would just highlight it. I'd go to File. I would go back to Print, as I still want to print this information. And in the Settings area, you can see that it's set to Print Active Sheets. Well, because I highlighted something, it has created that into a section, or selection, I'm sorry. So I would go to Selection, and it should show the Print Preview. And there's my summary description. As I said, that's the only thing I wanted to print. And it showed up just fine. And again, like the last time, I would go up and make sure I had enough of the copies that I wanted. Make sure the printer's connected, and then I would hit print. From there, let me show you a couple of things about orientation. When you print out anything, you can have it one of 2 ways. You can have it going portrait, which would be more rows but fewer of the columns, or landscape. So let me show you an example of this. I'm going to go to the Print the Active Sheets. And right now it's in landscape, which shows all of the information that I want. Let's go and see how it looks in portrait. As you can tell, there's a big difference, because not only does it show what's going on, it shows it in its own little sections. So if I wanted all of my information together, it would probably be best in this case to keep it in landscape. If you had smaller rows and columns, smaller columns, it may be to your benefit to keep it in portrait. It just depends on how it looks. And thankfully, in Excel and in most Microsoft Office programs, you have the option to see what it looks like before you print it, and you can make the determination there. Okay, from there, in order to adjust the margins, you go back to the settings area, and it will allow you to change it in several different ways. You have the option of the normal look, which it usually programs itself into. You can have it go wide, which, as you can tell, it breaks up my columns. Or you can have it go to narrow, which kind of pulls out my columns. Also, you have the option of doing your own margins, which is wonderful, especially if you know exactly the measurement of the row and the column and how you want it to go to the left and the right, and that's great. Alright, I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you, the patron, in order to know how to print a worksheet off of Microsoft Excel, print out selections, and also manipulate the margins and the orientation in order to suit what you need. Again, my name is Morgan with the XYZ Library, and I really hope this helped.